Duel's Nexus takes off, and is that Exosister stepping into the light? Yes, it is. Make sure you guys smash the and grab out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So this is going to be one of two double case tournaments that Refined Gaming had in the same day, which is actually insane. So we're going to be starting off here with double Dragon Link as the forerunner here, along with Kashtira for your two most represented decks. Now, I am on record to say that, you know, as much as we look at this format and as much as, you know, things kind of change, the more things kind of do tend to stay the same. And Dragon Link kind of maintaining a little bit of a stronghold on the format is not all that surprising to me. And same thing here with angry old Kashtira, you know, staying ahead of the rest of, you know, the meta. It's been the same story all format, but you do get the changes in the format that will shift around, that will pressure these decks to make changes, and I think the one-ups here are a pretty good indicator of that. We also had Exosister making a grand leap into the finals. Goes in Match is an amazing card here, especially, you know, top 8, all of the things that you see this deck tend to do. Very, very, very strong. We also had Sword Soul. I'm actually very surprised to see that Sword Soul still kind of doing things out here. It's kind of old reliable. It's also one of the most fair decks that you can kind of pick up and actually utilize in the room. And then we also had Purrely stepping up here as well. Purrely's kind of been the deck that, when people kind of understand how the deck works, the, you know, the intricate lines of play, they kind of come with it. It does a lot, and I think it's actually pretty interesting to see. And of course, we had Unchained here actually getting into the top cut as well, which I'm actually very happy to see that Unchained actually performed up to a standard here as well. So, I mean, overall, your top cut, pretty diverse. All right, you've still got the same cards that you're used to seeing with a new sprinkled flavor of consistency upgrades, and that's really what you want to see out here. Let's pass on over to top deck list now, shall we? First winner out here is, excuse me, our first top 8 member is going to be the power of Exosister here, where you are going to see the Aratama Sakitama combo. We're pretty used to seeing, you know, the combo package that this whole engine brings to the table here. The ability to, you know, step up into, you know, Mikhail's without, you know, breaking the taboo, toggle into the Martha, and then go ahead and do the rest of the actions here. Main decking Feather Duster for board breaking, and of course it goes in Match for the absolute insane value that it actually is. Of course, double Zeus down here in the side deck. We are playing Donner and Azalea as optional breakers as well, so you can kind of do your thing. And we're playing Baguski just to make sure that you can do your thing. Also, double Returnia, 1 Vadis. This is fine. I know a few people try to play multiple Vadis, but I feel like at this point in time, the deck has had to adapt. Maybe not on like the best lines of play that it really needs to do, but you do have to go down some different lines of thinking in order to maximize the best results for this. So not too bad. Next up here is our Sword Soul deck. Woo! This is incredibly standard, honestly, but I mean, once again, this kind of proves that, you know, old reliable, the same consistent packages that you can bring to the table, these things that make these decks what they are, is actually amazing. We are playing the Ice Jade Synchro. I know a few people were trying to cut the Ice Jade Synchro, to be honest with you, but I do think that having this card still as an option for this is really good. We're also not even playing the Psychic and Punisher as well. Of course, I mean, lances for defensive options, more board breakers, more preventative measures, and evenly matches to make sure that, you know, you can play the game. And of course, the triple monk. There was one person I've seen that tried to play 2 monk, and just trust me when I say this, stick to this. And then of course the triple book talents. This is double tie. Yeah, this is all pretty standard. 1 blackout somebody might think is a little bit weird, but I think ratios are fine for this. Next up here, we have some Dragon Link. They are playing the Rocket Coder. Excuse me, what? I have not seen anybody out here taking advantage of this. That is pretty cool. Okay. I mean, the thing with this card is it's not inherently a dragon, so it makes me cry every time. But to be honest with you, this does kind of reverse engineer in quite possibly some different little options for this. Also, I mean, I mean, just kidding. It is always going to be treated as a dragon as long as it's for a Boral monster, but that's fine. I guess there's like the one-off chance that you could need it for something else, but I think you'll be fine. interesting little tech choices out here. That's actually kind of nice. See that we are playing the Armageddon Pendulum as well. I mean, it's still very, very expensive, but it is a package that can help you out. And I see we have the Anti-Time card and then Quackimaro Drago. Okay. Next up here, we have Cash Money Dollar Bills the deck. You know, we're pretty used to seeing this thing in the format. Now, we are playing double evenly here. No thrust. No thrust. Okay. So just, we're not even worried about toggling for this. It's just if we see it, we play 2 of it, it's fine. We also play 2 Cosmic Cyclones for some board breaking here. We do play the Change of Heart in the side deck. That's kind of cool. Okay. And then I see we have Donner for board breaking. Most of the extra deck stuff looks pretty standard. Yeah, there's not a lot to really say about Kashtira at this point in time. Once you kind of got the formulae down for this deck, everything is essentially cruise control. Like, everything that the deck does feels incredibly normal, and I think that's fine at the end of the day. Yeah, looking at this, I guess you could say, like, maybe just the 2 books might feel a little bit out of place. Maybe you want to try to pressure, but instead of, like, the normal 3/3 slots, they broke it into 2/2/2, I feel like. So, okay. Next up here, we have our other Dragon Link list. Now, this is a lot more standard. I mean, 48 cards is gonna be a little bit annoying for somebody, but that's fine, too. We are citing Triple Eradicator, and we are playing the Grand Tusk Dragon. Normal special, target up to 2 other cards on the field and destroy them, and if you do, this card gains 600 attack for each card destroyed. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Is that an option tree that we can bring out off of the Heretic Heavenly Spheres? I guess. Special summon a dragon monster from your hand or deck. Bring out the Grand Tusk. Gets 2 forms of interruption. I guess that's kind of interesting. I haven't really seen anybody out here trying Grand Tusk Dragon, so the fact that you can splash this into the deck and actually make some value off of this, not too bad. But once again, 48 cards. I know somebody's gonna be like, well, that's kind of hefty. I mean, yes, but it did work out at the end of the day, so you can't be too upset with consistent results because these particular numbers do get things done out here. Next up here, we have our other Kashtira deck. Now, this build's main decking the Triple Drone Lockbird here. You gotta love defensive options. I see that we are playing Phobia here to be able to toggle for the Scareclaw Kashtira because this card's pretty interesting. Now I see we do see some interesting little lines down here. We are playing Black Garden and we are playing Secret Village here along with Metaverse. Interesting. So you can bring out, you know, any of these field spells that you need that are going to punish your opponent and then go ahead and just attempt to lock them out of the game. I don't know how consistent, you know, this is, but it's definitely something a lot more interesting than we've seen with a lot more of the meta at this stage in time, that you test out more and more of these ideas and tend to gather up more of these very interesting results. Definitely seeing Metaverse be a threatening card right now. I'm more concerned about this card. This against Rika is just auto GG because it just converts everything to zombie, and they're like, oh, okay, I lose now. Our Purrely duelist out here. So I love the small monster lineup. Like, this is what the deck has become. We are on 6 books in the main deck. But I mean, to be honest with you, you do need to be able to control the opponent's monsters. If your opponent sets up something that's going to be a threat to you, you need to be able to answer it immediately. And that's not always going to be a very easy task with this deck. So the fact that they are doing this is going to be incredibly good. I see that we are also playing Double Leap as well. We are only playing 1 of the new Nor, which is fine. And we are playing Relinquished Anima with the Azalea for some more cleanup options down here. But we are expanding out the Zeus line here and get more generic board cleanup on the opponent so you can do your thing. And outside of that, I mean, the side deck is all just going to be hand traps and other, you know, deterrents to kind of side in here and do your thing. But I like this list. This is actually pretty good. At the end of the day, I mean, the board breaking options that you're going to get with these cards, incredibly good. And, of course, we have Unchained here, bringing up the rear here for top 8. Very interesting, citing the Herald of Abysses, which is fine. I see that we are doing the Unchained Soul shenanigans. Ratios 3 Shavara, 1 Shyama are fine. We're playing the Fiendish Rhino for the additional dump extension. 1 Talents of the Double Thrust is fine because you can also toggle into these for value. Play the double Unchained down here as well. Ratios, I like the ratios. They all look very, very good. And then, of course, we do get to play Shifter down here because why not, right? Because when you are making the best of this deck, you're able to kind of clean up and do whatever you need to do. So that wraps up the breakdown for Refined Gaming for the first of 2 case tournaments. Do you like the results? Because there are a lot of interesting things here. So please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.